This is study session 6 of MKT 318 video lecture. We are going to be discussing about crisis and issue management. Crisis is inevitable in the life of any corporate organization. So whenever it occurs, the burden lies on public relations officer to manage the crisis. The public relations officer also tries to name the crisis in the board by taking some measures. Likewise, issues are also bound to arise in governance, in corporate life, and even from individual action and inactions. These obvious facts has made issue management one of the core aspects of modern public relations management. The essence of this unit is to teach the students the basic thing they should know in crisis and issue management. On completion of this study session, you should be able to define crisis and issue management. You should be able to discuss the nature of crisis and issue management in public relations. You should be able to describe the stages for managing crisis and issue in public relations. According to Sommer et al., he said crisis is a period or moment of great danger, difficulty or uncertainty, especially in politics or economics. Corporate organizations often anticipate crisis, and when they do, the common thing will be to take proactive measures to nip the impending crisis in the bud so that it won't blow into full crisis. In the context of public relations practice, issue is a condition or pressure, either internal or external, that if it continues, it will have significant effect on the functioning of the organization or its future interest. There are two broad ways or approach to managing crisis. We have the proactive and the reactive approach. Proactive approach is used to manage known and unknown crises, while reactive approach is used to manage unknown crises only. Proactive approach. Every organization has a defined line for business, and the nature of the business make it imperative that certain defined catastrophe will actually occur in the organization. For instance, a company that produces chemical or nuclear weapon must anticipate a radioactive or lethal discharge as its potential danger. In this case, it is obvious that someday a crisis will occur, but what is not certain is that when will it occur. This is what is called known and unknown. It is known that a crisis will occur, but it is unknown when it will occur. It is the responsibility of public relations officer to advise the staff and management of the organization on safety measures to be added in order to forestall the impending danger from occurring. Proactive measures therefore refer to precautionary measures taken to forestall impending crisis or to cushion the effect if eventually it happened. On the other hand, reactive measure, it deals with unknown crisis. Unknown crisis can hardly be predicted nor anticipated. It just takes the organization by surprise. Unknown crises are sudden calamitous events that cannot be foreseen by anybody. It is hardly anticipated, and when it occurs, the affected organization must react to the issue concerned. So the approach for managing this kind of crisis is the reactive approach. Given that crisis is inevitable, every organization should have well-articulated means of dealing with both predictable and unpredictable crises. This has made some scholars to categorize the procedure for managing crisis into three broad categories. One is the pre-crisis measure, which entails planning for potential crisis. The second one is on the crisis management measure. The emphasis here is on the tactics, that is, the actual execution of crisis management strategy. And the third one is post-crisis measure. This stage is very crucial in dealing with crisis. After taking practical steps in managing crisis, it is important to review action taken at the on-crisis management stage. This is what is meant by post-crisis measure. Scholars have profiled so many stages in managing issue, ranging from identification of issue to priority setting to implementation. But scholars were able to synthesize all these approach and came up with 6 steps. The first step is issue identification, which involve close monitoring of socio-cultural, economical, political, or ecological trends within and outside the organization. Monitoring here entails periodic opinion research, corporate image assessment, and evaluation research. Then the next one is issue analysis. This entails thorough and systematic issue identification during environmental scanning. The analysis will help to determine the degree of importance of issue and how they relate to the organization. Then the third one is issue prioritization, that is setting priority for the issue. From issue analysis, we can rank the issue obtained and rate them in terms of their priority. The next one is issue program planning, which involves stating objectives and devising strategies for dealing with the issues. The next one is issue program implementation. The program that has been planned needs to be implemented so that the issue will be dealt with. And the last stage is evaluation, which entails critical review of overall plan and action taken in dealing with this issue. We have come to the end of this study session, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. You can read through your study pack to complement your knowledge about the subject discussed. Thank you for listening.